We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's up, man?
Listen, man, we got a lot. It's been a hot minute, bro.
Yeah, a lot's been going on.
What's been cracking, bro?
A lot. Traveling, going back. I had to go to San Antonio at a point. It's been a lot of stuff going on. You had a lot of stuff going on your end.
Yes.
Life happened, basically.
Hey man, well listen, we got a few things to get into though, man. We might as well jump right on into it. Listen, I gotta be honest. I my hands go all the way down to you when it comes to producing this thing though, bro, because I'm over here looking like, hold on now. So listen, you say you've been there we go.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Tragic. It doesn't matter what your name is.
The greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, I don't know that music came in quite clear, but listen, if you're locked in, you've heard it before. So I say it again, Slash Brothers Podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. It's back to the originally scheduled programming, time and place and channel. And we're live on both platforms at the same time. Ace Kennedy. So I've personally had a whole lot going on over the last. We thought maybe we might take a month off, and then a month turned into a whole solid 2 months. And before you know it, we ended the podcast. And my kid now is in 8th grade, so I had that going on, which has been pretty dope. We're a couple of weeks into the school year here, and it's been pretty cool. What else has been going on? A move. You peep my new background on over here, right?
Yes,
So I went ahead and
yes,
found it. Yeah, man. It's been crazy because we were looking around. We've been talking about trying to move since like last July. Locked in with a new agent in October. And it took us a full calendar year before we found something that we actually liked. But it helped that we had a real dope realtor, man, and so it's been pretty cool. So since we've been doing that, we've been in a new spot now for probably not even 2 months, and been just still unpacking, trying to get stuff in order, though, man. And so it's coming along, though, man. So that's been the big thing for me. Got a chance to around the 4th of July, though, man. My folks came into town. And it was dope. Had a blast. I think that we typically do the 4th of July pretty big out here, though, man. And so my mom came on into town. My nephew got a chance to kick it with him, and it was real fire, though, man. Real dope time, though, man. But we back, though, bro. What else been good with you, though?
Yeah. So basically, the 4th of July, like you said, I actually had my folks in town. And so that was dope having, and then of course Sarah's family came into town, so we had both families in town at the same time. The other big thing that happened, Charlie dropped her video, and all of the kids are finally back in school. And even just today, Tari, aka Smitty, got that report that boy is cleared for all sports activity, so he gonna be making it back for the basketball season this year. So that's super dope.
Wait a minute now. Can't just gloss over that. Charlie May dropped the video. You got that queued
That's
up?
right.
Can we run that?
No, I don't have it queued up. I was not prepared for that, but we can definitely we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Okay. I was about to say, man, listen, that ain't a small thing there, bro.
Yeah, no, she's super duper excited. It's last I checked, it was 1.2 thousand people that had checked it out. A bunch of shares. She's real happy with it. She was just over the moon about it, but she definitely rethinking everything. Deuce ended up asking her. He said, "Hey, you gonna do another song?" She was like, "Man, that was a lot of work."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I mean, I remember that golly, on one of the last pods, you were showing the video, or we were just talking about her performing at the fair out there. So then, fast forward, what was it? Let's take a step back because Juneteenth. That was Juneteenth. So that was Juneteenth. Y'all had just wrote, produced, recorded this the week before, right?
Correct. And I didn't think she was gonna be ready. And then so I got the invite to do Juneteenth, and was like, "Yo," I was practicing in the living room, and she came in when she saw the system set up, and she was like, "Daddy, I want to sing." And she was talking about like doing Frozen, like we do karaoke all the time over here. So instead of putting the karaoke song on, I put her song on, and she knew the words. Wow. And so it was just like, and I looked at Sarah and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And it was like one of those summer jam things, right? When you bring out the special artist, and she shut it down, bro. It was in front of like 3,000 or 5,000 people. Like it was a lot of people. And yeah, she got the invite back for next year. They failed to give me my invite, but she got invited back to the next year.
Forget about you. Just bring her, make sure she on the deck though, right?
Yeah. It's funny because one of Scarface's managers, he ended up pulling me aside. He was like, "Bro, listen." He said, I God told me to talk to you because I wasn't gonna say nothing to you. He's like, "Bro, it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen." He said, "Professionally or anywhere else, this is one of the cutest things I've seen." He said, I was brought to tears watching it. He said, "I know you got to be a proud dad." I said, "Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. It took everything within me not to lose it while we was performing." I said, what got me as I was about to lose it, a bead of sweat went into my eye and burned my eye, and it brought me back to reality. Like, nah, bro, you got to get through it. So I made sure that I text him the video, and he was like, "Yo, thanks for sharing." So yeah, she definitely this is for her, in her mind, she's famous now, like even more famous than before. And we were walking in the mall, somebody stopped us, was like, "Bro, I saw your daughter's video. It was super dope." So she just like, "Oh my God, I just walking in the mall and people recognizing me." And so she just, it's over for her, bro.
That's dope. No, that's all the way dope. So even fast forward to that. So she had only known this song for maybe a month before y'all went in and shot the video then, right? I mean, total time. That's a pretty fast turnaround though.
Well, I mean, my thing was I knew like she has her tablet, and so I put the song on her tablet so she can just listen to it whenever she wanted to. So apparently she had been listening to that thing, and yeah, she went on in there and had it all memorized and ready to go. And we went and shot the video. For a kid, you got to max about 2 hours. That's it. If you can get that. So she went on ahead and did it and knocked that on out. And then, of course, me, you, and Brown passed it around to get it all edited. And I was happy because I got to use my camera. I was ready to use that camera.
Right.
So yeah. No, but it was live, bro.
That's dope. Now I love the video though, man. Like I said, I like that the song Just Me. I think that I love that it just kind of shows her the same way that everybody else typically would see her, just giving her that bigger audience, giving that spotlight. I think it was dope, man. It was the cutest thing though, bro. I thought it was real dope.
Super fun.
Yeah. That's fire.
Yeah,
That's
but bro,
funny.
let's get into a little bit of news. We got quite a bit of things to talk about, I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna be all over the place just because there were so many things that
It's a
happened.
lot.
Yeah, I first want to kind of get into Cardi and Offset though. So earlier, like probably about a month ago, Cardi was, they were going back and forth because there was like a Clubhouse thing where I think Offset said something and then Cardi responded like, "Don't be listening to that man, wooty 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 whoop." And they was kind of going back and forth, allegations that he had cheated again because originally he was saying she cheated on him, and she was like, "Listen, if I cheated on you, it would be out there. I can't cheat with no regular schmegular. I can't treat with no celebrity because everybody would say something. So now don't be believing his lies, like, and don't be trying to accuse me of some stuff that you know that you do." So
Facts.
all of that came out. And of course, it's like you don't kind of want to say anything because when you and I know we married, you have them fights, but it's just crazy because theirs be so public because they're public figures. But then, like I said, 2 weeks later, you see a video on Instagram where they in the pool and she over there twerking and doing everything in front of them. I'm just like,
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I never thought that it was real. Like I never thought that when they had their issues that they put out there, the whole entire time to me, I felt like, okay, they got a project that they about to put out, a song. By the way, I love the song. Love the song. And if you go and listen to the song, the subs in this one, A1 subs. A1 subs, right? So I think that what's crazy to me about it is that when that whole thing came out about cheating, I was just like, nah, something about that just doesn't seem like organic. It seemed too random. And then fast forward, not just with the video of them twerking in the pool, I see Offset. The first thing I see is this skit of him being interviewed by what's my girl from oh my gosh. What's the girl from Jason? You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know, bro. I think your memory going out, bro.
No, 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 no. Oh my gosh.
From Jason.
Yeah, what's the mom on Jason?
Michael Myers or Jason?
Michael Myers. I'm sorry, Michael Myers.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, right? So
Yeah,
he has a little. So yeah, so he shoots a video, and the first thing I see is just him. And I never saw the whole video. I thought it was just like an excerpt from the overall video, and I thought it was hilarious because I have never seen him in that regards, like in terms of a comedic kind of thing. And I was like, yo, this. I thought it was just like part of a something. And I thought that it was good. I was just like, yo, he need to do more stuff like this because I think it showed a side of the personality that you wouldn't see otherwise. But then when I saw that was the video that Cardi B was on that same song, I was like, oh, okay. It was all, because I mean, to me, it was like if you jump to the conclusion right then and there, then it was almost like, all right, yeah, you took it to the bait, they back into the headline and everything like that. But I think that overall, though, man, now I never did look at them and that whole thing and think it was a serious issue. But if you go and you listen to the song, though, the song is fire, bro. Like it's a fire song, and it almost makes me think I would love to hear a duet album from them two. Like I would love to see them to do a song because listen, bro, the subs. The subs that's on there, bro. I was like, yo, they A1 subs, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I don't think I ever listened to the song. I only saw the video of them hanging out afterwards.
No, listen, man. If you go through the song is Jealousy, right? And listen, let me tell you, let me give you some of Cardi's lyrics, right? Because the song is called Jealousy. She says, ain't no chick fit in front of me. Bad body chick with jumbo teeth. Yellow Lamborghini like Bumblebee. Girl, nobody listen to you unless how they says, girl, nobody listen to you unless you talking about me. Woo! She says, it's always a bird trying to tweet ish. You offended when I be on defense. She said they too worried about me and my ninja. You should be worried about the ninja you sleep with. And then she says, face is given and never gave. Been to Atlanta, but itches ain't brave. How itches mad? I'm the #1 pick. It's funny, your ninja the one that's a trade. She said, chicks mad stupid. She said, chicks mad stupid. They get a bag and lose it. I'm still in the bed. I live in her head. Water and gas included. She says, chickens don't want to go Birkin for Birkin. Chicks ain't got enough hits for verses. Chicks be acting so different in person. Cartier frames, and I see why she nervous. And then she says, this ish is a circus. I'm dripping detergent. I'm sick. Get the nurses. My witch got the curtains. She says, I'm dripped out in Hermes. A chick say my name, the #1 trending. And then she said, I did you a service, bro. It's cold, bro. I said, hey, yo. It's cold verse, bro.
That sound dope. It sound dope. I'm about to check it out.
It's dope. And listen, it's one of them times where I thought that I liked Offset's verse, but the subs, the implied dissing, top of the line though, bro. I said, oh my gosh, though, man.
So it sounded like the bar where she said, "Yo, dude's a midget" or whatever, or the that whatever that sub was. That sounded like that was going towards Meg Thee Stallion, bro.
No, I don't think so.
Tory Lanez, Meg, bro.
I don't think so, because I don't think that, as far as I'm aware, that Tory that they've had any reason
to beef.
For them to go there.
I mean, I know.
No, them bars right there. And listen, it's one of those times where I'm not gonna lie. It was so dope that I was like, did Cardi write that? Right? Because listen, if this is why, to me, that matters, right? So the reason why that matters to me is that if Cardi wrote that, that's like MC level. That's not just I'm an artist or entertainer. That's MC level stuff, and that makes me look at her differently.
Okay,
right? That makes me respect the pen more.
So did you hear the Eminem new song?
No.
Okay, well, it's not his song, but everybody just saying, have you heard new Eminem? Because
I did hear. I heard him talk about a verse about the game.
Yeah, that's the song.
Oh,
that's
okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, but not in here.
It's actually dope. Like,
is it?
But here's the thing: I can see why you might not like it, because you're one of those that be talking about you don't like the white people doing the fast flow, right? Which
Eminem's the exception.
Okay, so if that's the case, you need to listen to the song, because I respect the dude. I don't know the dude's who it was. It seems like a fairly newer artist, but I respect the fact that he had the song, and that you could tell that he probably rewrote his verse 8 times to make sure that it was on par with Eminem, with anything M did, because M came with it on the song. But like I said, most people on TikTok are discussing it because they're saying, yeah, it's definitely shots at the game.
Yeah, I thought that I heard him say something about I thought I heard something about him basically saying that they only play your songs in the club when you in the club, or something like that, though, man.
Something like that, because like they only play your songs in the club because that's where you perform at.
Yeah. I did. So listen, I heard some lines on it, but I wasn't. Nah. I didn't.
Okay. Well, you ain't heard it, so I can't even count that as a like you like it or not, because you ain't even heard it. So but while we on entertainers though, like I said, we got a bunch of stuff to get to. So Lizzo is kind of in some trouble right now, and she is not gonna publicly say, say anything, obviously, because it's in court, and I'm sure that her lawyers have advised her to just, hey, don't say nothing. But the problem is now the lawyers are using that tactic of we got a bunch of different people coming out now, which the gist of the story for those who might not know is basically some old dancers have come out and said that she has the workplace environment isn't all that great. Like she makes them do things that they're uncomfortable with doing, being in situations that they're uncomfortable with being in. Basically there was a some spot where there's a bunch of naked people. They have the bananas in places, and people are allowed to eat said bananas, and then you can touch this and touch that. And apparently, her and her dancers were at this event, and they were trying to hype this one girl to do it. She didn't really want to do it. Of course, then they start chanting, and she ends up giving in and doing it. And so she basically now is reporting that she was uncomfortable with those situations, and different things like that happen all the time. And like I said, now they're claiming that other dancers have come forward and said, yes, this is an unsafe work environment, this, that, and the other. What are your thoughts of all of this, bro?
Okay, so this is again, we try not to jump to the conclusion.
Yeah, of course
unless it's Megan Thee Stallion. But with that being said, bro, part of me, I would be able to better form my opinion if I knew if these dancers weren't fired. Like if it comes out that these dancers weren't fired from Lizzo, or Lizzo just got rid of them, or whatever, right? Then I would be more inclined to probably say, okay, they might be something. But if you're telling me though, bro, that they were fired, and that Lizzo let them go for whatever reason, and that because there is an interview where Lizzo was talking about this club or place in Europe, and she was basically saying how she was dying to check it on out. It's a place where the girls have a banana in their vagina. You can eat it off of them, eat food off of them. And she was like, I'm into that kind of thing. That's up my alley in this interview. I wouldn't mind doing that. But with that said, I don't doubt if the girl says that she was there, I'm sure there were other people who could corroborate that she was there with Lizzo, whatever. But
it sounds to me, right, when you say that, it sounds to me like they were on tour. They went to this spot. People knew what was in this spot. She went, did part of that story. I'm just speculating. The story comes, everything she's saying as far as like she probably didn't really want to do it after she saw what was going on, but then they kind of peer pressured her into doing it. Sound like some stuff you would do with your friends, right?
Right.
And it's just so happens that these are the people you've been on tour with. You're surrounded by these people for half a year or however long you're touring, and this, that, and the other. So you are going to places to relax in between your show dates and this, that, and the other. But the problem is Lizzo is their boss. So it's almost like your boss is asking you to do something that you may or may not be comfortable with. So like you said, if they're disgruntled now, this could look bad. But if this is just hey, I served my contract and I no longer dance, because there's other allegations too. It wasn't just this place that they went to. It's unfair treatment and body shaming and stuff like that, like a bunch of different other allegations. But like you said, you kind of have to wait until things come out, because like even what they were talking about on the Breakfast Club, like the tactic of saying, oh, we got other people that have come out and said something. They ain't released names or anything of those parties. So it could be a tactic. just to like, rush the guilty verdict of the court of public opinion.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing about it too, man. I don't even want to jump to say, well, what if this is true, and all this it comes to be that this is true, that Lizzo did. I can't even get to that point to me because that that variable to me of if they were fired, that's a big deal to me, right? Because like I said, if you're disgruntled, then I think that you have more motive to kind of that. If she said this is slander, now with that being said, what would impress me is if Lizzo countersued them for slander. That tells me everything I need to know right there. But until I see Lizzo do that, you almost that court of public opinion, it's out there. And until I hear Lizzo dispute that, but not just that, it means something to me that if you countersue, listen, just like Cardi B, Cardi B sued old girl and said that no, this is slander, and Cardi B won. So that was impressive to me. But to me, if Cardi don't do that, then it gives legs to somebody saying these false things about you. So
I think Lizzo can't really do that yet until they, have court first, and then she can. It's almost like Jonathan Majors, right? Jonathan Majors didn't countersue until after they had formally went to court, right? And speaking of Jonathan Majors, he did countersue, and they went back after his accuser. Now she done fled the country. They had to push the trial date back. So now all these people like the army and all these movies and his managers and his agents and his publicists, all these people that left prematurely, what happens if this case either gets thrown out or whatever the case may be, because everybody then already wrote him off. Even, Marvel is still stuck with him because obviously he's got projects in the can and he is the big baddie of the new, phase 5 or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Like he countersued, and of course he got your girl wrapped around his arm too. So
listen, he's already won. We can stop right there. I don't got to hear nothing else.
Yeah,
he won right then and there. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You would be hard pressed to tell me another person who has such damning allegations, and then boom, turned around. Where the allegations were indeed false. Because you've seen some people who turned around and like Robert Downey Jr. comes out of jail and then he becomes Iron Man and goes on to have this
illustrious career.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. But listen, for him to be rebounding as fast, right? Listen, bro. By the way, I finally saw Guardians 2 with it isn't Guardians. It's
Guardians 3.
No, what's the show with him in it? The movie that he was just recently in. Ant-Man.
Okay.
Ant-Man 3, I finally saw it. Yeah, I finally watched it with him. Yeah. Since we've been gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, I thought that, like I said, I think that ultimately, though, bro, he the one. I can't listen. I don't know who this woman was before, but I just can't think that in my eyes, and she can't top Megan, bro. So from that regards, he's already on the up. All he has to do is restore his reputation, and he can do that in court. And I don't think, to be quite honest with you, I think that it made him look that much better that he bounced back with Megan. I think that, listen, he's already on a positive swing. His trajectory looks excellent as far as I'm concerned, bro.
Well, look, Loki 2 is about to come out, bro. So I'm sure people are excited about seeing that, and he's in it, of course, as Kang the Conqueror. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what these next couple, because I think they go to court now in September, pending if they can find old girl and get her back, because that's their whole defense right there. So
yeah, he got a dub, bro. I mean, listen, he's winning. Listen, it could only add more icing to the cake, bro. That's all I know.
Well, we've been hinting about it, bro, for quite a little bit of time. We need to get into this Daystar Peterson, bro.
Okay, talk to me.
Tory Lanez, bro. Tory Lanez.
Yes. No. Talk to me.
So he finally got sentenced to 10 years. Originally, they were saying that he could get up to 22 years in prison. His lawyers were actually shooting for 13 years. And then it ended up being he got 10 years and they're going to give him time served. So technically, it's 9 years and some change. And then, of course, I think they say with good behavior and stuff like that, you got to do like 85% of that time. So maybe 7.5 years and then deported back to Toronto or to Canada.
And let me ask you something, bro.
What's up?
Because when this came out, okay. So does this mean unequivocally? I hope I'm saying that correctly.
You did.
Okay, perfect. Does this mean that yes, you were found guilty? You shot her in the foot.
He did. So in court, he apologized to Meg, and he said that if he could go back and take back the actions that he did at that time, that he would. He still loves her. So yeah, he came on out and said that yes, that it happened.
Okay,
now,
so then here's where I'm going with this. This is where I'm going with this. I had a very, very intense conversation of differences in perspectives on this, right?
Okay.
So my question for you is this, and I'm gonna ask you this the way that it was presented to me. Okay, does this make Megan a snitch?
No, because the thing is that at the end of the day, there is a weapon. There are shards of metal lodged in her foot. There's video camera footage. There's multiple people involved. Somebody has to take accountability for what happened based upon the footage that we saw. And like, it doesn't make her a snitch. She was a victim. There's a difference. Like, I've never known Meg to be a person who was in the street life. She raps about stuff. This girl is a college graduate. She's had a, she's had a soured past of things that have happened, mother dying, that whole thing. But no, she's a victim. She's not a snitch.
Perfect. I think that this is the way I look at it, bro. So I don't look at Megan in terms of like that snitching, ratting, because of a couple of different things, right? So I'm not at all a street dude, but I think that for the most part, you and I are familiar with the street life. We ain't never did no street stuff like that though, right? But I mean, we can easily name experiences, name people or whatever. So just being familiar. But with that being said, I think that the part that my take of this conversation is that I look at snitching and ratting. Snitching and ratting are two separate things to me, right? I look at snitching to me, well, ratting for one, because in this conversation, it was just like, how is it? It's not any different to 6ix9ine, right? And I was like, well, the primary difference to me is that when you're doing criminal things, criminal activities with a crew, and then once one of you give up the other person for less time, so there's some kind of benefit for you to cooperate with the police, that is ratting. When you're pointing this other person out, when you were involved with these kind of criminal activities as well. I think that snitching to me, what makes snitching different is that snitching to me is when you're just tattling, when something that either doesn't have nothing to do with you and you don't have benefit. You just out here you just telling all the business. You were literally snitching about something that you don't have anything to gain. You are just volunteering information to the police. And to me, I think that you don't even have, you're telling on criminal activity. Now, with that being said, I don't know. It's just even that I'm not sure there's a street morality, because essentially, if you're living in a community and somebody is bringing down your community, is it your place to tell about these activities going on? It's a whole different conversation. But I think that the part that I argued about for Megan, and listen, if you thought, listen, I love some Megan Thee Stallion. So if you thought that I was biased, that's perfectly fine. But I think that the big thing for me is that it doesn't make what she was doing as snitching because she is the victim. Like she was shot. And granted, what you might do to somebody if this was your kid, that's one thing. But I think that I turn that around and say, if this is your daughter, right? This is your sister. You know what I'm saying? And your sister gets shot by her boyfriend, right? Do you say don't cooperate with the police, right? Do you say, well, take that L and we can handle that? Like if you're not a street person, you don't handle it. You don't hold court in the street. You don't look for street justice, right? I do look at like a Cardi B different in that regards because Cardi B has said on several occasions she's a street chick. She comes from the streets. So I don't expect for somebody who's not from the streets to adhere to a code that doesn't apply to them because in essence, even though she's an industry chick in terms of rapping, I don't expect for somebody who's not from the streets to adhere by those guidelines though, bro.
No, I get it. And now I think the biggest argument I have been hearing about the case is people actually disagreeing with the amount of time that he got for it. Like they think that it's excessive for the amount of years that he got. What do you think about that?
Is it excessive? Listen, I've never been shot before, but
here's the thing. If the maximum penalty is 22 years and he only got 10, I don't know that that's excessive.
I don't think that that's excessive. So this is what I think. People say, I think that the thing that makes me mad is that people say Rasheen died, one, and that she was twerking on the gram a week later. And my thing is that, listen, man, again, I've never been shot before. I've never had, but my thing is that I only look at that if it's my daughter, right, my sister. My thing is that, listen, you know, you can talk this whole holding court in the street and everything you want, but if somebody shoots you, you might think 10 years ain't long enough, bro. You might not think 20 years is long enough, though, man. So I don't think that it's. I like this, though, man. I do feel somewhat sorry for him, but I'm not mad either, though, bro. Like I'm not. Listen, bro. You play stupid games, man. You get stupid prizes, though, bro. And that's the way I look at that. So no, I'm not. But so mad. It's all unfortunate, though, bro. But I'm not mad about it either, though, bro.
So you brought up snitching, though. Let's kind of shift just a little bit. So Kodak Black just did a song with Snitch 9. But he got paid, I think, $2 million for that.
Maybe a mil.
Right. Okay. Either way, let's just say a mil for argument's sake. What you think about this?
Okay, so this is where maybe this is a generational blurred lines, right?
Okay.
Because from my perspective, Kodak Black has prided himself and has touted on every chance he gets that he's a street dude. So for you to be doing business with a known rat amongst someone, I say rat, someone who he said he ratted. He came back, he said how I came home from ratting and I'm still popping. In his song, that was his lyric. So according to him, he understands the definition that he's a rat. So again, maybe my understanding of the street code is a little different or outdated, but I don't know how as a street dude that you associate with a rat unless they're young. So I don't know that this generation's code of the streets applies. Like I don't know who raised these new dudes, right? So I don't really know if their understandings of the street code is the same as what you and I would understand street to be. So I listen, bro.
So I heard in his verse that he basically talked about him crazy in the verse that he was featured on, and they had to actually remove parts of his verse from the song because he was directly taking shots at Snitch during the whole song.
It doesn't make it better. I mean, it's still, you did a song with a snitch, though. All you did was call him a snitch on the record. But you paid, so you have a price. And I think that this is my thing. That to me says that your street morality has a price associated with it. So, I mean, listen, I'm not going to necessarily, listen, I've never been in a position to turn down $1 million. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I couldn't imagine the things you would say to me if I turned down an offer to do a feature, a 16-bar verse for 6ix9ine. If it is $1 million, if he, let alone $2 million, somebody says, here, Charlie, here's a brown bag with $2 million in it and a verse, 16 bars, space wide open. Go ahead and kick that. If I tell you, Ace, I said, nah, bro, I can't even, bro.
Bro, I would fly to Atlanta just to slap you, bro.
Listen, if you didn't, and I would think something's wrong with you.
Yeah, because there's no way that you can't tell me that you can't suck up 16 bars for $2 million.
So for that regards, listen, if
that's
if
why
Kodak,
I don't have an issue with it like everybody else do.
If Kodak been already paid to get pardoned by Trump, he got to recoup that money somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not mad at him, but it does make me look at him a little bit different.
All right, bro. Again, we gotta keep moving. Wait, go ahead.
By the way, I'm going to admit to you this. I was completely wrong because I didn't think that Gunna could bounce back from people saying that he basically ratted on Young Thug.
Yeah.
And I was wrong about that. Let me tell you how I know that I was wrong about that. Because for starters, Gunna's song, he got a song that I think it's like a 2-minute song, and it went #1. And I thought initially maybe people just wanted to hear what he was gonna say. But then what's crazy about that is that I'm listening and I hear it now all the time on the radio. And I still listen to local radio. So I hear this song regularly on it. This is how weird it is. I didn't even know that this was Gunna because I'm not that familiar with a lot of Gunna's music, right? I'm picking up, I'm riding with Landon, right? And I'm just listening to the words of this song. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm like, yo, this is just not for me. Just not for me. I'm listening to the words that he's saying, and it's just a bunch of words that rhyme. And maybe at the end of the day, that's all rapping is or whatever, but I'm not impressed by anything about the rapping. The beat, fire. And I looked back at Landon, I said, yo, this seems like the kind of music you would like, but this is whack. He says, what? My dude was offended. He was like, what? He's like, no, this is like one of the hottest songs. I said, yo, who is this? He said, who is this? This is Gunna. I was like, oh my God. And I said, listen, nothing about it impressed me. Not one single thing, but the fact that my son is probably going to be, if I've done everything that God allows me to do as a father, my son will be the least street black kid you will ever meet. But with that being said, I also know that he has no idea about the conversation of snitching and street code and this, and he probably wouldn't even he understands when someone says, oh, he snitched, but he doesn't understand the history of snitching and ratting like we would. Nor will he ever if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But the fact that that's not even an issue or a concern or something that would stop him told me that I was wrong, bro.
All right, so we got some more beef going on. Pusha versus Jim Jones versus Drake.
Love it.
Which
Absolutely love it.
which part? Which part?
All of it holistically. I like all of the pieces, right? And I like the entire picture.
Okay, well, who went the hardest?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. All of them went hard, but I was mostly impressed with Jim Jones.
Same.
I thought everybody was dope. And like I said, when I say I like everything about it, I mean that I like that Jones came out and was asked what he thought about Pusha T. I thought that Jones gave his feedback and he was very matter of fact to say, hey, he's dope, but you know, how many Pusha T songs can you basically rap verbatim? How many, when you go into the club, are you gonna hear a Pusha T? And he's absolutely right, because I love me some Pusha T, but I don't know anybody else who's familiar with his music that can tell me a 16, right, by Pusha. But I do like that in essence of hip hop that Pusha T responded to it. You should respond to it. And I thought it was fire. But I think that one of the things that the one thing I thought that I loved the most about Jim Jones is that with all things considered, Jim Jones hasn't been rapping for that long. Like, he has Ballin' and he has the Dipset, but you got to think, even on the verses battle, right? Cam did some songs and Jadakiss responded laughingly. Yeah, Jones don't know this song. He wasn't rapping back then, right? But when you fast forward, the fact that Jim Jones responded to him like an MC in front of a bodega in Harlem, right? It was on the spot within days of the of Pusha T, of them doing that song. I was just more impressed with Jones, to be honest.
And on the same beat.
On the same beat. So I liked his response. I thought that it was a great, it's not like back to back. I mean, it's not even like Pusha T's verse on Daytona dissing Drake. But I still love how fast he responded with something that I thought was fire though, man. And yeah, I thought it was dope. I was more impressed with Jones though.
Now, what did you think about Drake even coming back with something against Pusha this late in the game, after they kind of like squashed it and this, that, and the other?
It's too little, too late. And after Drake has been in interviews where he said, yeah, he caught one of his first like public L's. So you admitted that Pusha got the best of you, got you on the one up. And so when you do that, you coming back years later to try to avenge an L, nah. And listen, I like the Drake verse. I thought it was pretty dope, but nah.
Well, let me ask you another question. So it was on Travis Scott's song. So does he catch a stray just for allowing it?
If I'm Pusha, yes. If I'm Pusha, I give you a solid one-liner. Solid one-liner, because at the end of the day, when you put that out, you co-sign that.
Well,
so,
and the even deeper sub is because you know how close Travis Scott and Kanye are.
Yes. So you know that Kanye's my man's and he's your man's. And for a feature, you've accepted him dissing me to get him on the song, right? So that's what we're doing. So from that, now, and the bad part about it is, I'm sure that Pusha, because of that circle, that Pusha and Travis Scott gotta be cool, but indirectly they gotta be solid. But if I'm him, yeah, you gotta catch at least one round of this clip, bro. Even if it's a one-liner.
All right, moving on. Tyrese versus Home Depot. Tyrese is suing Home Depot for $100 million. I mean, for $1 million. Basically, the long story less long with this particular incident, Tyrese was in the store with some of his associates. He started noticing that the traffic was picking up and people more and more were starting to know who he was. So he was like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce because of the fact it's getting too hot in here. And we're trying to get stuff done. So he was like, look, here's my credit card, told the Home Depot person they're gonna check out. Here's my credit card. He goes to the car, boom. Then when they're checking out, they're like, no, we need to see an ID with the credit card. So they FaceTime Tyrese and he was like, look, I was just in the store. Like, this is me. Like, they can swipe the credit card. They work for me. Like, I have bought a lot of stuff in Home Depot. This hasn't been an issue before. Like, what's the deal? So he comes back in to holler at the manager, basically like, look, man, what are y'all's policies? Because I have spent countless amount of money. And he did stunt. He was like, do I need to call the CEO to Home Depot? Because he lives right next door to me. Like, what do you think about this whole thing?
And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was okay with where he was going until it started to come across that, oh, you don't know who I am kind of feel. And after that, I was like, you lost me on that. So from that when you went there with it, I was just like, bro, you doing way too much now, though, bro. Way too much. And then when you suing them for $450 million over, so like at that point though, bro. Here's the thing that I don't know. Like Tyrese is a very talented person. And what I'm tired of, bro, I'm tired of seeing Tyrese in the headlines over something that has nothing to do with his talent. Like make great music and let that be your headline. Make great films, let that be your headline. Do something great, like do these things great in the community, let that be your headline. All of these things that you're doing. But when I start to see that, I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Come on, Tyrese. Like, bro, like, no. Sit down somewhere, bro. And I like Tyrese a lot, bro. No, I don't like when people who are on that level gotta go with it. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I have contacts with? Right? Because if you gotta say, do I know who you are? Do I really know who you are like that? Like, come on, man. Stop it. Stop.
I get that, bro. I thought, I mean, for $1 million, bro, like he was talking about pain and suffering and mental anguish and discrimination. So I'm gonna be interested in seeing what they do, though.
He sounds like he's trying to recoup money that he's losing from his divorce.
That's an interesting.
I hate to say that, bro. But when you doing that, you trying to recoup.
Yeah. Yo, by chance, have you caught the new Women of Hip Hop thing that's on Netflix?
I have not. I see it and it's on my list to check out.
Yeah, me and Sarah watched the first episode last night. It was pretty good. A lot of information that I didn't know. And they're highlighting a bunch of dope women. Hey, you remember Flex, right? And
Flex Washington.
No. Flex, the dance group, Sequence.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name? Tara?
Tia.
What was her mom's name? Because I know she was real connected with Grandmaster Flash and them.
Wasn't it like Shay-Rock?
That was her mama, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I knew I wasn't going crazy because she's on there. And I'm like, I know her. Like, I know her because I met Grandmaster Flash, like all of them when we were in Vegas for the Magic convention. And I was like, I know this woman. Yeah, that junk clicked for me all last night. It was crazy, bro. But yeah, wow. MC Light's in it. Of course, MC Light's one of the executive producers, but you know, they had Rod Digger, was her, she ain't came in it yet, but Rhapsody is in it.
Do they got Sexy Red in it?
I haven't seen her yet, but there's some chick that's walking around with a bandana mask on, bro. I have no idea who this chick is. Cash Doll was in it. No, Sexy Red. Cash Doll.
Oh my gosh.
But you gotta watch it though.
I like Cash. I love me some Cash Doll. I'm not gonna even lie.
Yeah.
I love me some Cash Doll, bro. But you heard Sexy Red though.
I ain't see her in the doc yet.
Pound Town.
I know who you talking about, but I ain't see her in it yet.
Hey, Sexy Red and Sukiana, I think that's her name, got a song, bro, that's a combination of their two songs, bro.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you did so you remember Bad Dudes?
Nah.
The game Bad Dudes? The Sega game Bad Dudes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I was going immediately to Double Dragon, but go ahead.
Okay, but listen. So here's where I'm going with that. So on Bad Dudes, you get to the end and you battle the stage boss, right? All them. And even on Double Dragon, you battle the stage boss. Well, this seems like when the two stage bosses put their powers together, and then that's it. It's like the Ratchet stage bosses get together, and whatever you think it sounds like, this is that, bro.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hey, last bit of beef before we get out of here, bro. DJ Envy versus Tony the Closer. Do you know anything about this story?
Loosely, but this is another one. I'm tired of DJ Envy being in the headlines for these kind of things. Because right while we were gone, Rick Ross had his car show, and DJ Envy and Rick Ross had got into it. And this is the thing. Maybe people are taking more issue with DJ Envy than they had in the past, because before people would only have issue with Charlamagne the God, right? And I just found that more people have a bone to pick with DJ Envy. And I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. It doesn't make DJ Envy look so flattering, bro. And I liked him. He always, to me, seemed like when it was the three, it seemed like he was the one that would be the consistent drama-free one, and everybody would dislike or disagree with Charlamagne. People had their issue with Angela Yee, and it just seemed like ever since Angela Yee left, that it just seems like now that people just don't have those additional bumpers to take issue with. So now DJ Envy seems to be more under the microscope, bro. And I don't like it. Doesn't paint him to be the most.
But this situation though, I'm not so upset at DJ Envy because what it is, he's trying to keep his name out of it, right? It's almost a guilty by association thing with this particular thing, right? Where he's like, look, I partnered with somebody and people have issues with the partner, but they're looking at me like I'm the one that's involved. Like, no, the issue is with him. He's not answering his phone calls. You know what I'm saying? He's not responding to the emails. So he put out a cease and desist to Tony the Closer and was like, look, keep my name out your mouth. Like, people have issues with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They invested their money with you. I invested money with you and I got screwed too. So I'm in it with them. Like, because you're not answering your calls, you're not answering emails. And so, you know, that's what it's like a deflection thing. It feels like, allegedly, from Tony the Closer side of it, that it's him defending himself against everybody else, but he's trying, like, so that's what it is for Envy. Is like, look, I don't have, people are dragging my name in it, like I'm the one that did the scam, and I gave my money just like everybody else did, and it didn't come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this particular, like the Rick Ross thing, they both was taking shots at each other. I don't really care about that, but this one, I which is why he hasn't mentioned anything on the Breakfast Club, because his lawyers advised him not to say anything. And so, boom, he kept his mouth shut. Tony the Closer is the one that released that he gave this cease and desist. He put it out on social media, so he's still hard.
I don't know. I just like I said, man. I don't know if I like this turn. Like, you know what it seemed like, bro? It seems like DJ Envy is turning heel, bro. Am I tripping? Like, he seems like he is slowly turning heel, bro.
I don't think so, man. I just think with success comes problems, right? So if you're doing, like, anytime you do business with when you involve other people, you know, then it becomes weird, because if a person that you're associated with get in trouble, it's guilty by association. That's the way people look at stuff. And so because of the fact that DJ Envy is the other known celebrity piece within the partnership that were multiple people, it seems like only DJ Envy's name is coming up because he was the one vouching for the dude, so to speak. Like, trying to get other people to invest. Like, this is a good investment. I'm going to invite you all to be a part of this because you can get your money back pretty quick, whatever. So like I said, I don't know all the details, but just the surface stuff that has been presented, it feels like his name is being drug in as guilty by association.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, bro, what you got up for the weekend?
You know what, man? For this weekend, bro, I am trying to finish unpacking more. I can't believe I've still been going through that much stuff. But I'm trying to, you know what, man? For the most, what I'm hoping to do is decorate my office more, though, man. So I got to go through some pictures and things like that I want to hang. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to live that unpacking life here for the next couple of days. But I think I'm trying to chill out for a little bit, though, man. Not doing too much. I got the lab back up and running, so I'm hoping to jump off in there, though, man, because I got some stuff that's in progress that I'm looking to go ahead and wrap up, though, bro. What about you?
Yo, I was actually in the lab earlier until I had to start running errands, so I plan to jump back in there today. Also, for the longest that we've been podding, I've been talking about this project that I've been working on as far as getting my garage clean. And phase 1 of the garage cleanup has finally happened.
All right.
So yeah, so that was big news right there. But other than that, man, just, you know, everybody just started school this week, so everybody's trying to get acclimated back to schedule. So we're trying to, you know, enjoy this weekend and try to get everybody back on the new schedule of school. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that I'm back to that, trying to establish that school routine as well. So that's why for the next, you know, couple of weeks, though, man, I'm trying to keep it loose. Oh, by the way, I'm hoping probably this weekend. I saw that the boy PBR got my goddaughter in town, right? So I'm hoping I get a chance to see her while she's in here, though, man. But other than that, though, I'm kicking it, bro.
That's what's up. Well, shoot, let's get out of here, bro. Hey, welcome back. The Slash Brothers, them boys is back. We back to doing it, and that's what it is.
Next week, we talk about that Montgomery, Alabama, though.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it? Dig it stuck up.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast